Okay, well, all right, stand by, slate him.
David, take one.
Slate out, stand by. And action.
How's it going? Good. You ready to do this?
Yeah, let's do
All right, let's jump into this. I got one. All right. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. What is the hardest part about being a teenager?
Trying to figure out what's going to be in the future. There's so many possibilities and opportunities you can have that just come all at once, or you could have nothing and you just don't know what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's just like, it's scary what's going to happen in your future, because if you don't take the right steps to balance it out, you won't have a future. What is the hardest part of being a policeman?
The hardest part about being a policeman, I would say coming to work, doing everything that you can to investigate something or to help someone a specific task, and feeling like afterwards that you could have done just a little bit more to get just a little bit more done.
Are there any situations that you had, like maybe like a trouble teen that you still keep up with too? Keep up with now?
For sure. There's a lot of kids that I've dealt with over the years that you see them from really young, and you have them grow up, and sometimes you see them make bad choices, and you think, what should I have done? What could I have done to just a little bit more to steer them in the correct direction? And then in the other hand, you have kids that are just the complete opposite, and you just are amazed at how well they do. What's the scariest thing you've ever done?
Scariest thing I've ever done? I don't know if you consider it scary, but when I was little, my aunt, she has a big ditch in the back of her house, and it's this big log that goes across of it. And I was tiny, and I don't like heights, so like it was like to me it was like an ocean below me. I didn't think it was a ditch; it was like an ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked across it. I walked across the log for the first time, and it started like spinning. And I almost cried. So like I grabbed the log and started spinning with it,
Mm-hmm.
and I eventually got up and got across. So
Nice.
That was probably the scariest thing ever. What is your greatest fear?
My greatest fear right now, I would say being seen by the media, or the media showing me in a way that makes me look like I did something and I didn't. They're portraying a situation one way when it didn't happen that way. And my biggest fear is that I, as a police officer, do something and I do it correctly, but because it fits what's going on right now and the media can spin it a certain way, it's going to portray me as doing something that I didn't do. So my biggest fear is I don't want to be that guy that gets put in a situation where I have to do something, I have to act. And I don't want to be afraid that media is going to show me as doing something I didn't do, and then I don't act, and then it ends up bad for me and I get hurt because I hesitate thinking, is this going to make it on the news? And then I'm going to get hurt because I hesitated. That's my biggest fear.
So you would say that the news makes you change the way you do your job, like?
Yeah. It's always in the back of your head. What is one piece of advice you'd have for a police officer?
Never judge a book by its cover. That's one thing that I've always wanted to tell a cop. Like, I know I've been through it once. I was in Target with my cousin and my brother, and we had on hoodies. I don't know if it was because of my skin or because I had a hoodie on, but they had their security guards follow us around the store. What people are afraid of is because they're gonna get judged by what they look like and not what they really are. And we're all guilty of it.
Mm-hmm.
If no one can say that they didn't judge a book by its cover. Like, I don't think there's anyone in the world that can truly say they've never done that. And that's one thing that I would advise every policeman to do.
Mm-hmm.
Is just never judge a book by its cover.
For sure.
What is one piece of advice you would have for me?
I'd say probably the exact same thing. You can't assume that the police are there to arrest someone. You can't assume that what you hear on the media is every police officer. You can't, make me earn the title of bad guy. Come to me like a normal person and realize that I'm just a regular guy.
You guys
No,
did a great
that's it.
job. And that's it. We'll just like cut.
All right, guys, let's do this again from the top. This time, no mistakes.
Got it. All right.